Howdy guys, my name is Michaela Cruz. I am the 4-H program assistant for Brazos County, and I am so excited to start our first video for our Egg to Chick video series. Today we will be discussing parts of an egg. So first we're going to define what an egg is. There are actually many different species that lay eggs, but for this video we will be discussing poultry eggs. So an egg is the female reproductive cell which comes from the chicken, and if it's fertilized by the male reproductive cell that comes from the rooster and properly incubated, it is capable of developing an offspring. So the first part that we're going to talk about is the outermost layer called the shell. This is a very important part because it is protective, and it's the first line of defense against the bacterial contamination, which means it keeps out yucky germs and dirt and things that are just not good for the embryo. Throughout the shell there are little miniature openings called pores, and these exchange gases in and out of the egg. Next we have a membrane, and there's actually an inner and an outer membrane. It's a soft pliable sheet or layer of tissue that covers an organ, and you can kind of see right here on the inside of the shell the membrane. Next we have an air cell. This is a pocket of air that forms in between the inner and the outer shell membranes to replace moisture that the egg loses as it cools and is stored. There's actually a really neat trick to figure out if your eggs in the refrigerator are still good or not. If you place them in a glass of water and it sinks, the egg is still good. If it floats, that means the egg is no good. This is because the air cell grows larger as the egg ages. Next we have the albumen, or the white. You can kind of see in this picture right here the lighter part of the egg. This is kind of a whitish watery substance that surrounds the yolk and is full of food for the embryo as it grows and develops. In the albumen we have this chalaza, which is kind of like a rope-like structure that keeps the yolk in the center of the egg, which is really important for development. And then we have the yolk, which is a yellow globular mass that's full of nutritious vitamins and minerals that the embryo needs to develop and grow big and strong. And then finally we have the germinal disc. This is actually where the embryo starts. You can kind of see here this lighter circle right here. This is the germinal disc. This egg was actually in an incubator for a day, so it had time to get just a little bit bigger. But basically the embryo starts out in this little bitty cell and then grows up into a baby chick. So today we discussed parts of an egg, starting with the shell, which is the protective covering on the outside of the egg. And then we discussed the inner and outer membranes, and in between those membranes we have the air cell, which exchange gases. And then we have the albumen, which is the white part inside the egg, and then the chalaza, which is the rope-like structure that keeps the yolk in the center of the egg. And the yolk is full of nutritious vitamins and minerals that the embryo needs to develop. And then finally we have the germinal disc, which is the very start of our embryo. And after 21 days of being in an incubator, we have a baby chick. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first video of our Egg to Chick video series adventure. Tune in for our next video where we discuss more topics about egg to chick process.